Am I the whole for not punishing my daughter for getting extra and better opportunities in life than her siblings? I know the title is confusing, so is my life. While most of my family supports me and says I'm right, my wife and 3 kids think otherwise. So here I am. Bear with me, as it's going to be a novella of my life. I'm a father of 4 kids, my eldest, 29F, from my first wife, then my stepson, 28M, and my 2 other sons with my wife, 19M and 17M. For some background, my first wife passed away when my daughter was only 3. Before tying the knot, we dated for a long 7 years, and my parents actually considered her as their second daughter. While I came from a middle-class background, she came from a wealthy family. We met at a friend's wedding, where she was a bridesmaid and I was best man. We clicked immediately and never looked back. During our time dating and in marriage, she and her family helped my family a lot. For example, while we were dating, she offered to pay for my sister's education fully. While me and my family protested, she offered it as a loan without interest, with her punchline being, "If we consider her family, we will accept it." And then at our wedding, she gave my sister a loan paid off certificate which said, "Loan fully paid with love," when my sister had just graduated from law school. My mom was a cleaning lady and my dad was a construction worker. She helped my mom in opening her own cleaning service agency and much more, even pushed for my father to start his own business rather than just a manual labor job. It won't be too far off if I said my parents loved her more than they loved me. Unfortunately, my wife died due to cancer when our daughter was only 3. Before dying, she, with the help of her twin brother, made some videos for my daughter for her every milestone and a few birthday videos. She even wrote letters to her, which she entrusted me to give at the right time. But while doing all these things, she asked her mom and my mom to give my daughter an extra gift during holidays and birthdays, saying it's from mom. Well, from then onwards, for every holiday, my daughter started getting 8 gifts from her mom, as all her and my siblings got my daughter an extra gift saying it's from her mom, her, and my parents as well. Now, I married my now wife when my daughter was 8. That's when the first conflict started, that my stepson didn't get as many gifts as my daughter due to her extra gifts from her mom. When I tried to talk to my family and ex-in-laws about it, my parents said that my now wife would not be in the picture if my first wife, Sarah, was alive, and that this was Sarah's last wish for her daughter. So I should be ashamed to even talk about it to them. Whereas my ex-in-laws said they are not concerned about my new wife and new family. If I see my daughter as a hindrance in my happiness, they will gladly take full custody of my daughter. Sarah's twin brother was at my neck, like I had said to give no gifts to her. Well, I apologized to everyone and talked to my wife and asked her to drop it, but this has been a constant issue in our marriage. What I didn't know was that my wife then emotionally checked out for my daughter. She didn't mistreat her, but ignored her totally. With me being busy with work, I didn't notice that initially. But when I did and spoke to my wife about it, she would always say, "Try being pregnant," or "She didn't sign up for this," or "She is busy with the other kids," and that my daughter should be able to take care of herself. Obviously, when Sarah's brother came to know about how their niece is being treated at home, they were livid. My parents and siblings were also mad at me. And then my daughter started spending more time at her uncle's place or her grandparents', but mostly with Sarah's twin brother's family. When my daughter turned 14, she wanted to do summer jobs like her friends. So instead of letting her do a normal babysitting job like teenagers do, her uncles came up with the idea to let her work in their respective companies as an intern to see where her interest lies. It would also help her in her college applications. So from the age of 14 to 18, when my daughter was not paying for anything in her life, she got the job of an intern in her uncle and aunt's office while getting paid at least minimum wage, if not more than that, or rather, much more than that. My ex-FIL understood that this could spoil my daughter, so he came up with the idea of charging her rent and a part of the utility bill to make her ready for the real world. While I was not ready to take money from my little girl, after everything that has so far happened in her home life, they convinced me that I can take this money and invest it under her name and give it to her when I feel it's right. That sounded like a great idea to me. So we charged my daughter rent of $100 and 1/4 of the utility bill, which she agreed to without any fuss. Now, when I discussed this with my wife and said we could do the same for our other kids, she blew up at me, saying that I can do whatever I want for my daughter, but she will not let me charge rent to her kids while they are living with parents, no matter the age. I tried to explain to her, but she shut me down. Well, as all of you might have guessed, it worked in my daughter's favor. All those internships helped her understand that she is good with numbers and that she'd like to go into the finance industry. She also got a good scholarship, and I believe her resume did play a part, along with her excellent grades. She basically completed her undergrad free via scholarship. Her college fund untouched and still living at home, she could have moved in with her uncle, but I believe she stayed for me, with the same rent and utility arrangement. When she went for her master's, she had to move out of state and she got a 50% scholarship. Well, after her master's, she joined her uncle's firm, where her mom was a 50% partner, and now she is filling the shoes of her mom in her office. She is so much like Sarah now. She's getting married to a wonderful guy, a close friend's son. I'm happy for her. Now, here's the problem. My sons are not as lucky as my daughter, especially my stepson. Well, due to how my wife treated my daughter, my ex-in-laws never offered these internship offers to my sons. My sons are not academically gifted like my daughter. And, well, as per Sarah's will, apart from the items willed to other family, everything else goes to my daughter, which is 80% of Sarah's estate. My parents, who have already made and discussed their will, have warned my wife not to even try to tell them what to do or not do. Everything will be divided equally between all their biological grandkids. My ex-in-laws have already mentioned that whatever inheritance Sarah was supposed to get will now be given to her daughter. Now, my daughter invited me the other day for lunch and asked me if I could give her Sarah's pendant set and wedding ring for her wedding, which was willed to me. I didn't see any point in denying this request. Well, I guess this is where I was the a-hole, as I didn't discuss anything about it with my wife. When I came home and told my wife about it, she, as usual, blew up at me. She said her son was planning to propose to his girlfriend with that ring. And my wife was planning to gift the pendant set to her niece, as she really loves it and is also getting married soon. I told her it is creepy, as both the items belong to Sarah, and my daughter has an emotional attachment with these pieces. I know the reason why Sarah gave it to me, and my wife also knows that I've already told her about it. Well, it was a yelling match. All of my sons came out of their rooms to see what was happening, and they ganged up on me, saying that I always favor my daughter over them. Saying that she should share her success with them rather than take something from them. It's like kicking someone when they are already down. And unless she apologizes for even asking this, they are not attending her wedding, and I should also support them. Now this is where I'm again the a-hole, because I lost my cool on their foolish request and told them I'm not punishing my daughter for getting better opportunities in life. And if their mother was not _____ to her, they might not have missed out on those opportunities. Now, am I the a-hole for giving a reality check to my wife and sons?